Welcome to Take Two with the Rock 95 Morning Crew. We took last week off. There was no episode there. We're back, and we had a little bit of a shift in personnel, if you will.
We did.
So we've got a new co-host. So it's Craig, there's Brian, now there's MJ.
Hey.
What's up? And you are a permanent part of the Rock 95 podcast, but part of the Rock 95 Morning Crew as well. Mm-hmm. And you have podcast experience. We should plug your other podcast because you're part of the Barry 360 podcast as well.
I am, yeah. Barry 360, what Barry's talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which is local news and stories and all sorts of good
interviews,
stuff.
Entertainment, lots of fun stuff.
You have a news background.
Mm-hmm. And long and extensive.
Long and extensive, yeah. So there are people that do know you, but there are probably people that don't. So because it is your first official podcast, and you've actually guested on the podcast before.
True.
I decided that we'd kind of get to know you with some icebreaker questions. And I actually went to a website that says 150 of the best questions to ask someone to get to know someone.
Oh my gosh, they're so scripted.
What's your favorite color?
No, I thought that would be on there. They're actually kind of interesting. There's 150 of them. There's a lot of questions.
Can we start with a question that if you met MJ, perhaps one of the first things you would ask her is, why MJ? What does that stand for?
Well, that's not on here.
I know.
No, this is a very specific question.
But that's what you would ask. I feel like when I first met her, I'm like, what's that stand for?
Everybody does ask that. Well, I knew her before she was MJ, so I knew that.
You did.
Yeah, because you actually went by your name, and do you want to reveal that?
It's Mariana.
Mariana.
That's right. So it's Croatian, so it's spelled Marijana. There's a J in there. Not marijuana.
Yeah. But very close.
That's
as close as you can get.
Mary Jana, I've gotten that too. No, it's just Mariana, J silent, so there's that.
Did people kind of pick on you that way as a child?
All the time. Yeah, I know. It was like, your name looks like marijuana. And I'm like, yeah. Or even now, it happens in my adulthood, and it drives me, like, I've had 40 years of it. I'm good. I've figured it out. And yeah, they're like they're the first people to ever figure it out.
MJ? Yeah.
So now that you're MJ, like on the radio, because it's a little zippier, do people go by MJ now? Do they call you? Like your husband probably doesn't call you MJ.
He calls her Michael Jordan. He calls her by her full name.
You know what? Now when he refers to me to his friends and his family, he does say MJ. He very rarely says Mariana anymore. The other day we had a bit of a family emergency. Everything's fine, but he calls up to me because I'm upstairs in my son's room, and my husband's like, Mariana, and I'm like, what? Oh my God, what's wrong?
It's one of those.
It's just one of those, like, because otherwise he would have been like, honey, MJ, Midge, or just like another nickname, like, like whatever. But yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, is my mom here? What's going on?
Did you say Midge?
Yeah, it's like
from
like
Archie Comics, the
sometimes there's that.
Moose's girlfriend. Is that what it was? I think.
Yeah, Midge.
My wife never calls me Craig.
Never.
Just like if she ever says Craig, no, she calls me Dad because we have kids.
Oh,
so we're mom and dad.
What if your kids aren't home? Does she
still calls me Dad? Oh. And I've heard that before from older people, mom and dad and whatever.
Yeah.
But she's always called me Dad ever since we've had kids. And if I ever hear her say Craig, it throws me off.
And you think something's wrong.
Something's real wrong. We're going to break up.
Craig, we got to talk.
Anyway, we'll go through some of these questions. They weren't as interesting as that, but we'll this is apparently a get to know you survey. So what's your favorite sandwich and where do you eat it?
My favorite sandwich and where do I eat it? Like from a restaurant?
I guess, or in the house maybe.
Okay, so my favorite sandwich at a restaurant, the sandwich is called The Local. The Local. And it is at a local bakery here in Barrie, Homestead Bakery. Nice. The Local. You can't go wrong.
And what's on it?
You don't have to make any modification. There's an aioli. They have fresh turkey, delicious, like lettuce they put some kind of sauce on it, cheese. I don't know. It's just basic, but it's so delicious.
Yeah. You can't breeze over the I don't know. I go, what's on the best sandwich?
I think the aioli is what makes it. They have a special aioli.
Is a very underrated thing.
It is a fantastic thing. Yeah. Now, if we're at home, to me, nothing beats a good old-fashioned PB&J. Okay. I love PB&J.
All right.
Yeah.
No aioli on that.
No aioli on that.
This is a cheap one.
You ever try to replicate that at home?
We're talking connoisseur here to like it's a PB&J.
And where are you eating the PB&J?
On the couch.
Yeah, not the toilet. No.
Well, wouldn't have been my first guess.
What's your your favorite place on earth?
My favorite place on earth
that you've visited in your life.
It's just favorite place could be home, could be the toilet.
Let's get away from that.
Favorite place on earth. I guess it would be home.
Yeah,
just like
no place like home, huh?
No place.
And when you say home, you consider Barrie home, and your home in Barrie, not where you're actually from, or anything.
No, I'm actually from Edmonton, and it's cool and stuff, but it's not home anymore.
Yeah, it's not on our list.
Never want to visit. What?
The one place you visited that you would never want to return to?
On a cruise ship.
You wouldn't do a cruise?
I wouldn't do a cruise.
I don't think I'd do a cruise either.
Yeah, it was all right. I don't have a bad experience per se. It just was like, meh. Like a hamster on a wheel. I
think I would feel trapped.
You do feel trapped? And I couldn't wait to get off at a port and then
walk around with the masses of other people, though?
Yeah, and you're just all squished together trying to get off the ship, and then you get back on it, and you're just a hamster on a wheel waiting like a trough to be fed, like a piglet or something like that. It's just not cool. I don't like it.
What's the best TV show on TV right now?
Best television show?
Right now. Not in history.
Now.
Yeah, what are you watching? This is on the list, man. I'm not making this up. So.
On TV right now?
Yes.
This is stressful. I don't know.
What are you watching right now?
Right now I'm watching Shogun. That's pretty good. No,
that's the wrong answer. It says that on there, doesn't it?
It's a completely wrong answer.
It says wrong.
You don't sound like you love it.
I'm really excited about 3 Body Problem. That's going to be on Netflix in the next day or two.
Right. This question wasn't for you.
What's you guys? What
ours?
We're watching Deal or No Deal Island.
We're watching, and I'm not even a reality show guy, but we're watching Deal or No Deal Island.
Oh, come on.
You know what?
That's way better.
We're loving it.
We're loving it. Yeah.
We're loving it.
It's funny. If you can only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Don't give
ice cream.
Oh, good answer. Okay.
Ice cream.
Oh, wow.
Ice cream.
Any
lover.
ice cream. Yeah. I am an ice cream. I'm not going to say the word, but I'll have any kind of ice cream.
Okay.
It's fine.
Worst movie you've ever seen?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Good one. There's a lot. But
that's a hard one to pinpoint, right?
That is a hard one to pinpoint.
Did you ever pay for a movie and you're like, oh my God, I got to walk out of this?
I've never walked out of a film.
No?
I've never walked out of a film.
Have you felt like it?
I felt like it for sure, but I've never actually walked out of a film.
I did fall asleep in a Steven Seagal film once. And I was
Did you?
Yeah.
You couldn't say which one. They're all the same.
Yeah, they're all. I do know which one. It was marked for death. It was marked for death. And I don't know why I even went to saw it.
Did you ever go back and watch it?
No. Unless I need a nap.
Good man.
Oh, Funny Games. That was a film that I stopped watching 10 minutes in.
Whoa, because it was very intense.
Too intense for me. I could sense where this was going, and I had to stop it.
I couldn't sleep the night I watched Funny Games, I'll tell you that.
Coming from you, and you're like a horror movie.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go like a poorly acted movie.
No. What's one item of clothing you couldn't live without?
A hoodie.
I found out somebody here that works with us doesn't like hoodies, and now I'm subconscious of the hoodies.
Really?
Yeah.
Like they don't. They actually other people?
They told me as I was wearing a hoodie. I don't care for hoodies, and I'm like, well, that's what morning people wear.
Yeah.
They don't like wearing them, or they don't like seeing.
They just don't like hoodies. And I feel like I got so many hoodies in my...
Have you guys noticed that we're all wearing hoodies?
We're wearing hoodies, yeah. It's just a comfortable... We do a morning show, right? So it's comfortable to throw that on, and it's cold in the morning.
Exactly.
Listen, justify it whatever way you want. I wear it when it's warm out, when it's not in the morning. Do you know what
I mean? What's the best thing you've read in the last 5 years?
The best thing I've read is...
Are you a reader?
I do read, for sure. One of the best things I've read recently is... I read his Dark Materials trilogy. Okay. That was really great. It was like the Golden Compass. It's an old trilogy, but I read all.
Did you say his?
His Dark Materials.
Oh yeah, who's it by? Who?
I don't know, some dude.
I don't think they're talking about the author when they say his.
I thought she was. His. I'm like, well, say who?
All right, final one here. If you could save one material thing from a fire, what would you save? And don't say photo albums, because that's what everybody would say.
So kind of like your house is on fire.
Your house is on fire. You're saving one material thing. Material.
This is going to be a little bit cheesy, though. It's not photo albums, but my kids have a baby blanket made out of their old baby clothes, so I'd take that if I could. I know it's cheesy.
Yeah, I mean, it's very flammable.
My peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Listen to Craig, Brian, and MJ, the Rock 95 Morning Crew on Barrie's Rock Station, Rock 95.